Lake trout is a freshwater char living mainly in lakes in northern North America. Other names for it include mackinaw, lake char, touladi, togue, and gray trout. In Lake Superior, it can also be variously known as siscowet, paperbelly, and lean. The lake trout is prized both as a game fish and as a food fish. Range. From a zoogeographical perspective, lake trout have a relatively narrow distribution. They are native only to the northern parts of North America, principally Canada, but also Alaska and, to some extent, the northeastern United States. Lake trout have been widely introduced into non-native waters in North America and into many other parts of the world, mainly Europe, but also into South America and certain parts of Asia. Although lake trout were introduced into Yellowstone National Park's Shoshone, Lewis, and Hart Lakes legally in the 1890s, they were illegally or accidentally introduced into Yellowstone Lake in the 1980s, where they are now considered invasive. Description: lake trout are the largest of the chars. The record weighed almost 46.3 kilograms with a length of 50 inches, and 15 to 40 pound fish not uncommon. The average length is 24 to 36 inches. The largest caught on a rod and reel according to the IGFA was 72 pounds, caught in Great Bear Lake in 1995 with a length of 59 inches. When hooked, especially the big ones will make a short run and just thump and twist and turn. Life history. Lake trout inhabit cold, oxygen-rich waters. They are pelagic. During the period of summer stratification in dimictic lakes, are often living at depths of 20 to 60 meters. The lake trout is a slow-growing fish, typical of oligotrophic waters. It is also very late to mature. Populations are extremely susceptible to overfishing. Many native lake trout populations have been severely damaged through the combined effects of hatchery stocking and overharvest. 3 subspecies of lake trout are accepted. There is the common lake trout, the siscowet lake trout, and the less common rush lake trout. Some lakes do not have pelagic forage fish during the period of summer stratification. In these lakes, lake trout take on a life history known as planktivory. Lake trout in planktivorous populations are highly abundant, grow very slowly and mature at relatively small sizes. In those lakes that contain deep water forage, lake trout become piscivorous. Piscivorous lake trout grow much more quickly, mature at a larger size, and are less abundant. Notwithstanding differences in abundance, the density of biomass of lake trout is fairly consistent in similar lakes, regardless of whether the lake trout populations they contain are planktivorous or piscivorous. In Lake Superior, common lake trout and siscowet lake trout live together. Common lake trout tend to stay in shallower waters, while siscowet lake trout stay in deeper water. Common lake trout are slimmer than the relatively fat siscowet. Siscowet numbers have become greatly depressed over the years due to a combination of the extirpation of some of the fish's deep-water corriganine prey and to overexploitation. Siscowet tend to grow extremely large and fat and attracted great commercial interest in the last century. The populations have rebounded since 1970, with one estimate putting the number in Lake Superior at 100 million. Hybrids. Lake trout are known to hybridize in nature with the brook trout, but such hybrids, known as splay, are normally sterile but self-sustaining populations exist in some lakes. Splay are also artificially propagated in hatcheries, and then planted into lakes in an effort to provide sport fishing opportunities. There is also a hybrid that occurs between the common lake trout and siscowet lake trout subspecies. These hybrids are known as humper lake trout. Commercial fishing. Lake trout were fished commercially in the Great Lakes until lampreys, overharvest and pollution extirpated or severely reduced the stocks. Commercial fisheries still exist in some areas of the Great Lakes and smaller lakes in northern Canada. Commercial fishing by Ojibwe for lake trout in the Lake Superior is permitted under various treaties and regulated by the Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission. Origin of name. The specific epithet Namekush derives from name Kush, a form of the word used in some inland southern East Cree communities in referring to this species of fish. Other variations found in East Cree are kukamas, kukamor and kukamesh. Similar cognate words are found in Ojibwe. Name goes equals lake trout, name goshans equals rainbow trout, literally meaning little lake trout. Popular culture. Geneva, New York claims the title Lake Trout Capital of the World and holds an annual lake trout fishing derby.